Monday gaggle now. Katherine Miller is deputy political editor for BuzzFeed. David Rode is a foreign affairs columnist for Reuters. And Radhika Jones is Time deputy managing editor. Thanks to all of you for being here and happy holidays. Radhika, I want to start with you. Does the Times report shed new light and change the conversation and change our understanding of what happened in Benghazi?
I think the most important thing it does is increase the complexity, which of course isn't necessarily helpful in the political arena, where people are always looking to simplify a narrative. But the Times report is very thoughtful about saying, look, there were a lot of things in play here. There were, as we just heard, strategic errors in the run-up, but a lot of the immediate interpretation of events has proved to be more complex, perhaps, than we realized. And I think you're absolutely right that this will remain an issue, not just in 2014, but certainly if Hillary Clinton runs for president all the way up to the 2016 elections.
All right, and since you bring that up, I'm going to play a soundbite that we heard over the weekend. I'm going to let you all respond to it. Take a listen.
Some people have suggested, well, this is trying to clear the deck for Hillary Clinton in 2016.
Yeah, I don't know, but I found it interesting that there's this rollout of stories, including Susan Rice, who would go on TV and have a direct discussion on this when we still have an ongoing investigation in the House Intelligence Committee.
But again, do you think that's to protect?
I find the timing odd. I don't want to speculate on why they might do it.
So, David, Mike Rogers there sort of questioning the timing. How does this play in 2016 if Hillary Clinton does decide to run? Does it change the narrative for her?
I don't think it changed the narratives dramatically. I think it's not going to change our dynamic, which is this endless blame game. And I think the story sort of shows how much our political system is serving us so badly in Washington. It's all point scoring. It's all the Republicans saying Hillary Clinton is personally responsible for this. The CIA made huge mistakes. That was in the New York Times story. Yeah. No Republicans are calling for David Petraeus's, being held accountable for what happened. And then the administration says, so no mistakes were made. But there were problems. The State Department did not provide enough resources there. And Secretary Kerry reinstated the 4 employees that had been suspended by Hillary Clinton for not responding to requests for security in Benghazi. So both sides aren't addressing the real issues here.
Katherine, I want to turn to you. We talk about Hillary Clinton in 2016, but how does this impact the White House, President Obama, heading into 2014? Because they spent a fair amount of the first part of this year dealing with the fallout from Benghazi.
I honestly don't think that there will ever be a conclusive answer on this. Some of this, they're the accountability issues, but there's a great piece this morning in Politico about why we'll never stop arguing about Benghazi. And a lot of this is, there's political aspects. There's also a disagreement even within both parties about whether things are accurate, which things are accurate. Yesterday, Congressman Adam Schiff, who's a Democrat, was also saying that there are some links in some of the intelligence with certain al-Qaeda aspects. So obviously there's some disagreement overall with everyone about what the conclusions to be drawn are out of this, and it will just continue to play out.
I think that's right. And also people looking at this report and saying it has implications for other conflicts. I'm going to read a part of the article, which says it shows the risks of expecting American aid in a time of desperation to buy durable loyalty and the difficulty of discerning friends from allies of convenience in a culture shaped by decades of anti-Western sentiment. Both are challenges now hanging over the American involvement in Syria's civil conflict. David, what do you make of that?
It means that we face a different threat today. We're having like a post-9/11 debate about al-Qaeda. It's not an al-Qaeda threat anymore. There are all kinds of loosely affiliated groups that might share al-Qaeda's ideology, but the people who carried out this attack were not linked to al-Qaeda. The problem with the CIA intelligence in Benghazi was they were looking for an al-Qaeda presence, and they didn't really look at these local militias who could be, turned because of something like this video. And we need to be looking for that around the world, not simply focusing on al-Qaeda itself. It's a much more murkier but still dangerous situation.
Radhika, do you want to weigh in? Murkier situation?
I think we've seen this since the beginning of the Arab Spring. This assumption that America had for a very long time that our intervention is necessary and desirable just isn't the case everywhere in the world anymore. And certainly in the debates that we've had about Syria, there's a lot of question about, well, even if we intervened, who would we help? And when you have all of these various local groups that are vying for power and that are very able to be influenced by, not just by al-Qaeda, but by other terrorist groups or impulses, it's very difficult to draw a line.
All right, Radhika, David, and Katherine, thank you. Stick around. We're going to come back to you guys in just a few minutes. But first, a rescue mission at the end of the world. Stranded since Christmas, passengers on that Russian ship stuck in the